I'll read the votes. Zach. 8th person voted out of Australian Survivor Champions versus Contenders. Zach.
That was so much energy, I don't think it was worth it. Hello everybody, welcome to Mike's Mic. My name is Mike, and how are you guys? What's up, gang? Let me just pop my Ocean Bomb cranberry juice that I've got. And someone commented on my last video, maybe I should do like ASMR theme. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Thanks for coming to the video, guys. Let's get stuck into this week 4 Australian Survivor Champions vs Contenders recap, power rankings, and Instagram discussion. Now, I was doing a little bit of like revision on my analytics, and I usually peak at about 400 views on the video for the week. And I was like, you know what, guys? Let's hit that 500 because look, views equals more watch time equals me getting remonetized. If I get remonetized, sis, we're going to live stream this shit. Imagine if I could buy a PC, live stream this, we could talk in real time. Like, that wouldn't even be low-key iconic, that would be high-key iconic. First thing off, I've written Exile Beach, more like Exile Yeet. And the reason why I'm calling it Exile Yeet is because Anita had absolutely zero, like a fat zero chance of making it back onto her tribe after making it to Exile Beach, because that edit gave her no chance. They like skirt away from putting her back. They yeet away from the possibility of putting her on the island. So the episode started with Anita going to Exile Beach, meeting Tegan, them having a little bit of a D-Now with a lot of F words thrown in, which was really fun, really relatable for me. And they discussed how Benji has been making their money moves. Oh, what's this? A new setting? Yes, I thought I'd mixed it up. This is where I sit when I watch the Survivor video, so this is how I felt when I watched the episodes. Tegan snapped high key in the Exile Yeet challenge, and I feel like she was just letting us know that bad bitch mode has been activated. Also, side note, when Tegan won and like the music was like nya, 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 and Tegan was crying, Anita was crying, everyone's crying, I'm like, okay, why are they acting like Anita died? Like, sis, calm down. It's a reality TV show. Anita just got voted out and she threw her buff into the fire and everyone's like, oh. I'm like, okay, y'all need some chill. A couple of Tegan quotes that I wrote down that really just like got me going were, I'm sure you're all very excited to see me here. When she came back to the island, they were all walking and they're like, welcome back, Tegan. She's like, I'm sure you're all happy to see me here. You got a deck of cards. All you got is a deck of cards and it's crumbling. That's not the quote, but you get it.
Because that's all you've got is a deck of cards that are about to topple.
And then we had Robbie saying to Tegan, I'm sure you've got a few questions for everyone. And Robbie, I've got a question for you. Mate, how the hell does your hair look so good? Like, look at, I put a hat on because my hair looks disgraceful today. Like, look at it. And I have like water, I have heat, I have everything, but I just can't get it to do anything. Then homeboy over here just drinks coconut water all day and then you just get them luscious locks. Like, that is not fair. What's your secret, Robbie? Tell me. The immunity challenge in this episode was them getting the buckets of water with holes in it, going down the slide, putting it into the pillar. And this challenge was just an excuse for those 45-year-old women cringe lords on the Australian Survivor Facebook page to comment about Steve's Speedos. Like, sis, collectively stop it. It was at this point, while Shonee was delivering a whole ass bucket of water down the slide, that I realised I don't think she's ever been on the wrong side of the numbers. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she has been on the wrong side. I think she's kind of high-key killing it, but we'll get to that. After losing the immunity challenge, we go back to the Contenders tribe, and they're all like doing a little bit of infighting, a little bit of Australian politician action, you know, they're just fucking tearing each other apart. So we had Benji on the defensive, his eyes were doing some kind of Morse code, sending a message to everyone else in the tribe, which was fun, relatable. Then we had Tegan fresh from Exile Yeet, and she had of course brought her big-ass pot and her big ass spoon as she was stirring that shit up. During this episode, I made like a realization. I was like, I think Zach is genuinely not smart enough to realize that his opinions are so atrociously wrong. So if someone's so dumb that they don't know that they're wrong, does that mean that their intentions aren't wrong? Can someone contact woke Twitter for me and just let me know what the go is there? Then we make our way to Tribal Council and the Benji edit continues. And I'm just going to say this right now. Benji's teeth are really good. Like, no joke. He's sitting there talking in Tribal Council. I'm like low-key mad at him because he's gunning for Tegan and everything. But I'm just looking at his teeth like, you have really good teeth. I think a good way to summarize this Tribal Council in one sentence would be, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Like, when Tegan was demolishing Zach for like his women opinions, hoo-ha, women opinions? When Tegan was giving Zach a lesson, I was like, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And then Shonee was like going at him and I was like, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And then Fenella was like, Thanks for winning them all for us, Zach. I was like, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. So the result of this episode is that the trash bag has been taken to the trash. You know, we've disposed of our toxic waste. Zach has been removed. We had a full Zach vote. We had a Fenella snapping in the confessional. I rewatched and got the quote. So it's, you're just a washed up gladiator that ended up on the wrong beach. I had to call Life Alert because I went into cardiac arrest while I was watching. I was like, oh. It's crazy to think that Fenella invented confessionals, but she did. The second she said that Zach was a washed up gladiator on the wrong beach, she single-handedly invented Survivor confessionals. Her mind is so powerful. So we had Zach walking out and he was like, bye lads, or good luck lads or something. And the girls are like, you ain't gonna say shit to us. Cut to him talking about left-wing women don't like me. And I'm just thinking like, does that make me a left-wing woman because I don't like you? I'm fine with that. Oh my god, I'm legit shaking. There's so much sugar in this. Alexa, play Sweetener by Ariana Grande. It's important to note that at the start of episodes, what they open with sometimes has like foreshadowing. So we had the Tuesday open was Brian like being all fun and relatable, and they're like kind of poking fun at Steve for like being all like meditation hoo-ha. Again, can't relate. And it's like, it's a lot of fun chat about Brian saying, I just can't relate to anything that Steve's saying. I have nothing in common. And I'm just sitting there like, does this mean we're going to get a Steve blindside later on? And why am I living for that? Cut to scene of Steve saying life is suffering.
Life is suffering.
Me sitting on the couch on a Tuesday night really tired from work being like, I felt that. I feel like at this point the producers were like, we've got a bit of an issue because these contenders can't beat our team of Olympians. Like, who would have thought that could happen? Oh my god. So they were like, let's try and get them going. Let's give them the reward that they didn't win. I'm gonna just rant real quick. You know when Monica was trying really hard and she couldn't reach the rope, but she kept trying and she tried her best, and then she was like, I deserve to be on this tribe, blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, in the comments on social media, some people were like, she doesn't deserve to be in the Champions tribe. She's just a model. And I was like, let me give you an education. She's an international model. You can't be that big and then have no kind of business skill, no kind of social skill, networking skill. Like, obviously, she's very good looking. That's literally her job. But as well, she has to be good in those areas. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to get that far. So in summary, people's opinions are annoying as hell. And it's always the ugliest people saying that pretty people do no work. Just saying. If I had to rename every single episode of this season so far and put Shonee and, this episode would be Shonee and the Margies. Let's talk about the fucking nachos reward. And first of all, lol, that the one reward they win has a condition. The key point of this challenge was Benji ate nasty as fuck, and that turned into like 400 articles on news.com.au. But again, it seems like some people have lost sight of the fact that that was obviously very heavily edited to make him look absolutely atrocious. Like, of course, he was still grotty and nasty as fuck, but then they like put the sound bites over the top, edited the same clip 3 times. Just like, it was a bit overkill. I feel like they're trying really, really hard to make him the enemy because there's not that much else gameplay happening. And now we had the Coconuts Immunity Challenge, and again putting everyday Australians against a personal trainer and an Olympian. Like, what?
Steve taking nut after nut after nut.
As with the last 400 episodes of this season, every time the contenders lose, we get a sudden flurry of gameplay. So we had Benji telling Shonee that he's like a quadrillionaire, and Shonee's like, the fuck? Why'd you tell me that? And then I was like, why would the fuck would he do that? But then I was thinking, maybe it's actually not that dumb. Like, we literally have a tribe of champions, and how many of those would be millionaires? So I feel like once we get to the tribe swap, Benji being a millionaire won't be that much of an issue. But how good was Shonee's commentary about Benji having so much money? She was like, if you're not here to win the money, then scram! Did Shonee just single-handedly bring scram back to popular language? I'm going to start using it from now on, scram. Again, after the Nachos atrocity, we had Benji with the idol clue, and is that idol number 14 or 15 now? Or maybe it's idol 327 in this season. I've actually lost count of how many there are. I genuinely don't think that Benji is a bad person. I think, you know, he started making these moves and the producers like egged him on. So he kind of just like took on the villain persona and ran with it, which probably is what I would do, to be honest. Then we had the Paige vote out, and that was kind of sad because I had high hopes for her. And also we could have had some really cool interactions between her and the champions, because remember, she went to that lunch or breakfast. Was it breakfast or lunch? Lunch. Because I had the, ice break? No, it wasn't ice break. But anyway, it would have been cool to see her interact with champions having kind of already gotten in, but we will never see that, unfortunately. Scram. In terms of power rankings, this doesn't really count as a spoiler because it's kind of expected, but there's a tribe swap happening this week coming, and because of that, putting rankings in terms of champions and contenders doesn't really make sense. So what I've done is I've put like a safe bracket, a medium bracket, and an unsafe bracket. And I'm not going to go into it too much because I feel like anything that I could say would be immediately irrelevant as soon as the first minute of the next episode starts. So in my safe bucket, I've got Sean, Matt, Sam, Fenella, Robbie, Lydia, and I'll give like a sentence on each. Sean, legend. Is that her sentence? Matt, solid position, idol. Sam, living legend, sarcasm for days. Edit is very long term. Fenella, fantastic edit, super funny, well connected in the Contenders tribe. I feel like Robbie is an unproblematic Benji, and based on the amount of times he has tagged Lydia in his Insta story, I feel like they'll end up on the same tribe. And if they do, that means that they'll be close together because I feel like they have the same kind of values. Lydia, fitness queen, whatever tribe she moves on to, will not be getting rid of her anytime soon. In the medium bucket, I've got Monica, Steve, Brian, Shonee, Tegan. I guess overall there isn't that much to say in terms of why they're in the middle, because like literally they're just in the middle. That's just it. They're not at the top, they're not immediately at the bottom, they're just in the middle. Then in the unsafe bucket, I've got Heath, Benji, Jackie, Shane. I feel like every single time there's like some kind of episode relating to Shane or Jackie, they're always at the bottom of my list. I really want them to go far, but I feel like there's just too many opportunities to vote them out. The fact that the last like 4 or so episodes have been so Benji centric makes me think that potentially there's a Benji blindside coming, which is why I've put him in the unsafe category. Kind of same with Heath, but he's getting less and less airtime. He kind of peaked, played the idol, went back down, so he might be safe. That's why he's at the top of the bucket. Why am I saying bucket? Why is everything bucket? What am I doing? Oh my god. Hello Sunset Glow thumbnail? It's really hard for me to not look at myself right now because this lighting is just making me look amazing. But anyway, so Shonee put this picture up on her Instagram story and it made me scream, so I'm going to read it out for you. So Jonathan Lapalia tweeted and he was like, Shonee, there are bugs in the jungle. And then someone replied, KK, enough attitude, Shonee's bringing the viewership, not your dollar store Jeff Probs. They snapped. I'm really enjoying that you guys are getting into this like Instagram feedback thing, and if you want to get your comments about the episodes or your questions read out in the next recap video for next week, all you got to do, follow me on Instagram. When I put the little tag thing up at the end of Tuesday's episode, it'll be like you can respond to it. Just put your response in and I'll read it out potentially in the next video. I got like 35-40 responses, which is a lot for me, and a lot of them double up, so if yours doesn't make it in, I'm sorry, but potentially could get in next week. So Football Mario HJK says, the trash has been taken out and the second cutest girl is gone. Heartbroken. What the hell happened to Benji's eye? I've seen like 2 stories about what happened to his eye. One was that Fenella stepped on his face, which is like the narrative that I want to follow, and the second one was that he was walking in the jungle at night and walked into a stick and it went like pfft. I mean, you choose your own adventure, but I'm 100% following the Fenella stepping on his face storyline. Patty Ryan says, Shonee giving me major Michelle vibes, just praying Tribe Swap doesn't stuff her up. I'm really hoping that Fenella and Shonee get to stay together. I feel like they complement each other's games so well, and it'd be so good for them to end up on the same tribe. Like, especially if there's like 15 people left or something, and then 2 out of the 5 people on their tribe are them. How good would that be for their numbers? I think worst case for the show as well, in terms of ratings, would be those 2 going in the next 2 episodes. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I think Shonee should be fine, but we'll see. Following on from that, we have 2 similar responses. A, Fenella is the sass queen. Agree, legend, icon. Can she follow me back on Instagram? It'll make my life. And what are your thoughts on Shonee and Fenella and their gameplay? As I said, I really like them together. I think they're super funny. They're good quality TV. I'm glad that Zach's added the picture so we can get more screen time on them. It'll be interesting to see how they go with the champions, if they can still let network make their way through. But I really want them, if they could both make it to at least jury level. Imagine the sass if they're in the jury. How good would that be? We've got Kate Changi saying, Benji eating the nachos was grotty. He dropped pieces out of his mouth into the pile the rest were eating from. Sis, I know, that had me gagging. I was like, quaking. But also I was having my like 3rd Maxibon of the week, and I was like, I don't know if I can finish my Maxibon. That's how bad this is. Plot twist, I finished the Maxibon. We've got Emma Maria saying, how did no one else think to look at the bottom of the pile of nachos? That's clue placement 101, especially when Benji put like the what's this thing called, the napkin there, and no one was like, oh, why is there a fucking napkin in the middle of a pile of nachos? Like, who would do that? They were just like, no, this is fine, this is not weird at all, just leave the red napkin there. Survivor Memes says Benji is inconsistent with his king references. He called himself the king, then Heath. Sis, I saw that as well. I don't know if it's a case of them pulling clips from previous episodes in different timelines, champions and like clipping them how they want them together. But I also noticed that I think the overarching king arc that we're supposed to pick up is that Heath was the king. Benji dethroned the queen. The queen came back. In the meantime, Benji became the king. Now we have the king and queen back at the top. T? Then we have Dave Carter 68 saying Paige could have been helpful at Tribe Swap with her connections with the champions. Exactly what I was saying before. It would have been interesting to see how she connected with the champions and if she pulled, like who she pulled, if anyone, from the Contenders tribe to like come into her new alliance. Matt saying Fenella's that sibling that always chooses take out the trash on the chores list. Yes, I'm loving that you guys picked up trash bag as like a saying to describe Zach, and the trash has been taken out. We don't have to deal with any more dirty rubbish anymore. J Pinky Memes says voting trash bag off wasn't the smartest move by Shonella, but God, I'm so happy to see him go hashtag Shonella. We are Shonella stans on this channel, as you guys being new. I agree, voting off trash bag was semi-problematic because he is an easy vote out. But in terms of them, they'd be like, y'all, I don't know how many days I'm going to be on this beach with trash bag 4. Let's get rid of him and let me enjoy my last few days in the sun. Then we have Ben Rowan saying every tribal I'm just thinking it's got to be Benji, but then he comes out untouched. The first time I read this, I was in my head just like, untouched, da-na-na-na-na, and it got stuck in my head for 2 days. So thank you so much for that. Then we had Nick Iadanza. Yes, Nick Iadanza saying the editing this season is killing me. Nick is a legend from season 1. In my review videos with Jake for that season, we absolutely destroyed him, so sorry about that. But Nick's doing some really cool stuff in the Survivor space, so make sure you check out his socials and get around him. And I agree, the editing this season is killing me too. Are we all dying slowly? You know how everyone's like, the world's going to end in 2018. Is the world going to end because the editing of Australian Survivor is killing everyone, perhaps? I'll do a couple more. We had Samantha2587 saying, I can't be sure, but I think Shonee likes margaritas. I got that opinion as well, but I don't know, like it wasn't confirmed. Like perhaps she does, and maybe she's talking about margarita pizzas. Who actually knows? Then we've got Lachlan's Land saying Benji telling Shonee about his job wasn't that stupid. Okay, can you like DM me and give me your full thoughts about that? Because I agree, but I feel like I'm not articulating it well. Now let's round it out with one of my favorite photography accounts on Instagram, and it turns out he's a Survivor stan as well, just like us. Eastern Sun says Shonee and her deep appreciation of Margies is the storyline we truly deserve, and that's so true. As I said, Shonee and the Margies, new band coming to you soon. Shonee and the Margies playing at Crown Melbourne, I would be there. I'd have VIP tickets, I'd have backstage passes, I want a signed margarita glass, I want the whole lot. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hope your comments made it in. If you want yours, follow me on Instagram, reply to the questions. If you liked this video, leave a like. I'm about to burp. I don't know if I'll make it through the sentence. I did not make it through the sentence. If you got something to say, leave a comment. Let me know. What are your thoughts about the tribe swap? Do you think Jonathan LaPaglia is problematic, or am I just trying to get that storyline going? Thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel in the last week or so. We had like 15, which is like super groovy. Loved that. We're at 560 now. That feels iconic. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And in fact, I actually have an S for subscribe on my hat. And yes, that is in fact bird shit on my hat, but that's a story for another time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.
Life is suffering.